We're looking at the Black Love celebration. I think until I think this year, I only knew about Valentine's Day celebration where we do Valentines, and Valentine and all that. I mean, it was just Valentine chocolate. But then we actually do have the Black Love Day, and it's like an alternative Valentine's Day celebration, which happens to honor Black culture. How amazing is that? Well, I have with me in the studio my co-host Hafiz Gunu has already joined us, and I still have Mamiaba in the studio with me. So today we'll be talking about the Black Love, and Valentine is on February 14th, but then this is on February 13th. So just how interesting it was. Now, Black Love Day was founded in the year 1933 by Ayo Handi Candy. A Black Love Day happens to be observed 24 hours of 24-hour display of black love, demonstrated true love towards the creator, for self, for the family within the black community. There's one key word that keeps striking and running here: black, black, black. How important it is for blacks to love themselves. And it's a universal concept, but basically it's more about embracing your black culture, practicing and following the five tenets. I mean, love for the creator, love for self, love for family, and love for the black community and the black race. So on this day, what basically happens is you tend to actually encourage people to do something very simple. Just demonstrate love for 24 hours. Just demonstrate love for 24 hours. Now, I'm going to bring Hafiz Gono in, and then we'll keep the conversation going from there. And then Pamiaba would also join in very soon.
Thank you very much, Epi. Well, February it is, and it has been dubbed the month of love. So we are seeing a lot of love-themed celebrations all around us. Yes, in Ghana, in our base, Ghana, that is, we are seeing Ghana try to push her chocolates, try to do that in the mix of Valentine's Day, and in the diaspora, the African American community, we are learning that have what they call the Black Love Day. Basically, you've told us what it is about, so you can understand why everyone is all interested in the month of February. Now, yes, as you mentioned, I just want to go right through it. But then you talked about the five principles or tenets on which Black Love Day was founded. Just quickly going through that: love towards the Creator, love for self, love for family, love for the Black community, and love for the Black race. Now, recently, I just think that if you ask me, I just think that there's been so much reliance, there's been so much coverage on public displays of affection of the romantic kind that has not given chance for more pertinent issues to be discussed. Now, if you go onto Twitter or the social media or any other social media and you just simply type the hashtag Black Love Day, all you get are pictures of couples loved up. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. I'm just saying the overindulgence in the romantic bits is somehow making us lose sight of the more important issues that needs to be addressed as far as the African American community is concerned. Now, if you take a critical look at the principles, you realize that each of these principles addresses a particular issue in the black community. And I think because of all the mushy bits surrounding all these the activities in February, we are not exactly seeing them gain that much coverage. Now, love towards the creator deals with atonement, forgiveness. When you talk about love for self, you are talking about issues of colorism. It helps dismantle issues of colorism, especially in the black community. When you talk about love for family, you are talking about oneness. Love for the black community, you are talking about acceptance. Yes, just based on the basis of your color alone. And the love for the black race, we are talking about dismantling certain stereotypes about the black community. And I think these are all pertinent discussions that needs to be had. But because of everything surrounding Valentine's Day and the hurrah and everything, we don't see that. Now, just to go a little bit into the five, but not just the five, but then I'll just pick two.
Okay.
Yes, the love for self and the uh, love for the black race bit.
Okay.
Now, love for self. Remember, I just said that it has to do with dismantling issues of colorism.
Mm-hmm.
And colorism is simply discrimination based on your skin tone.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh, every now and then we have every African American uh, kids or folks walking around that have a difficulty in accepting who they are. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a constant reminder everywhere, either covertly and overtly, that your skin tone is a problem. And speaking of covert, I mean, how do you explain a young lady that is just looking to take a picture that is handed foundations and powders that that differ or that doesn't match her skin tone?
Mm-hmm.
Already she's told in a covert manner that this is a problem. Okay, and so these are all issues that I think that needs to be raised in the celebration of Black Love.
Black
Yes,
Love Day. Yeah.
we can talk about the romantic bits and all, but I just think that there are certain issues that needs addressing, in terms of like colorism. Ticket. It goes way back even into slavery.
Yeah, it's a big issue. I mean, it's not a new thing. It's something
Exactly,
that has deep
because I mean,
roots.
we are seeing where in slavery where people of darker skin commanded or
The people of
lower.
lighter skin commanded the that of.
No, I'm talking about darker skin. Darker
Mm-hmm.
skin were ascribed lower prices compared to the
Those
lighter
of
skin.
lighter skin,
Yes.
yes.
In India, the caste system, you see those in the higher caste are usually lighter skin,
Yeah.
which is not supposed. Even in America, there's what they call the brown paper bag test. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Th-
The brown paper
Is
bag
it what they
test.
put about you?
No, usually what happens is to gain entry into a certain social organization, they put a brown paper bag to your face. If you happen to be lighter than that bag, you gain access.
If you're not.
If you're not, you get kicked out. That's how bad it is. So, anyway,
No,
let's
I
stop
think
talking.
the one I know about is the hair test, where you actually, that one actually, if you're going into an organization or school, they just pick a pen or a pencil, and they put it in your hair. If it slides down freely, you're allowed. But if it stays in it, you're not permitted.
Anyway, so that's that. Anyway, so but I just think lastly, with self-love, I mean, there's so much empowerment in finding beauty within yourself. I mean, we shouldn't be made to feel bad about ourselves because of the way we look. And I think it has to start with loving yourself in that manner.
Love for oneself is a big thing that people need to actually look on. But thank you, Hafiz. Before I move on to Mayab, I think one thing I just want to establish is the fact that the founder for this day, Candy, one thing she looked at was that on this day, on the 13th of February, they seek to actually encourage people to just do the love, just do something special, just show love for 24 hours. Now, she believed that with the Black Love Day, they could aim to actually stop the spread, the hatred for one another, and then also self hatred for yourself because you are not accepted. They could increase peace, and then they could foster healthy relationships between black and white Americans. And that is super important because one thing, last year like this, when they had the Black Love Day, their theme basically was on reparations to repair, to reconcile, to restore the love. And basically, they were focusing on the race relations and putting the fifth tenet of the demonstrating of love of the black race into action. So, one thing she's trying to cut out is hatred. And it's something that underneath it tends to grow. When you get rejected a couple of times, you start hating either yourself or the people that are rejecting you. Mameva,
Epi.
Black Love Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I think
mean,
I think first off, I think we should give Anna to whom Anna is due. So this the crown goes on your head. Actually, you opened our eyes up. You actually made us know that Black Love Day is a celebration that existed. It's an alternate to the Valentine's Day. So you deserve, a round of applause.
yay. Hafiz is not
Hafiz,
clapping.
what's happening?
Oh, don't mind
Hafiz,
me. I'll
woman
clap later.
empowerment. She has done a good deed. We
You
should
know me and
actually.
Hafiz. I understand. Yeah, but I mean, when we talk about Valentine's Day, we talk about showing love to family, your friend, somebody you have
Mm-hmm.
feelings for, somebody you're in love with.
Yeah.
But when we mention black love, like Hafiz said, it's based on five tenets that starts with love for the creator.
Yeah.
And I think the tenets that come with the celebration of Black Love Day are very important
Mm-hmm.
because first and foremost, we need to give love to the omnipotent
Yeah,
because he's the one. Without him, where would we be?
that's true.
And then there's self love. I always say, I don't know if I've ever said it to anybody, but I always tell myself that self love is the greatest.
Yeah,
So if Black Love Day is teaching us to love ourselves first, because if you do not love yourself, there's no way you can open yourself up to love or you can love anybody wholeheartedly.
yeah,
And then there's love for the family, and then there's love for the community, and then there's love for the black race. Hafiz has talked about all of these, so I don't want to go into it. What I want to talk about is the greeting for Black Love Day.
yeah.
So on Black Love Day, we greet each other by saying Nya Akoma. Nya
Nyakoma,
Akoma, which
have
means
heart.
be patient, take heart,
I did
gear
a direct
towards love.
translation.
Yeah.
Have heart.
And I think that is, I wish I could get the history behind the greeting of that day, because for an African American to set up a day and then the greeting is an Akan language thing,
Mm-hmm.
the greeting is in Akan, it means there's something deep in there.
Yep, I think, but looking at what they're actually focusing on and not forgetting where they're coming from, the discrimination and all that, I think it was like one of the best things. Because one thing she was trying to prevent was also self hatred and hatred for the other people, the people actually discriminating against the white Americans. So, I mean, if you have to keep enduring everything and you really needed to
Please
be
take
patient.
heart,
Yes, you
yeah.
need to take
Like,
her to endure it because
return to love.
I'm telling you, it won't be easy.
I know.
It won't be easy.
And during the day, a couple of events happen. So,
Mhm.
firstly, they have the free virtual Black Love Conference
Mhm.
where they offer tools, solutions, resources, and inspiration as practices of Black Love, showcasing 50 presenters, healers, spiritual leaders with inner attainment, and that will happen from morning till evening.
Yeah.
And then there's the Black Love Day 28th relationship ceremony
Mhm.
where they do a ritual of reconciliation by expanding love through mythology.
Mythology.
Breathology.
Breathe, like
Like
breathe. Oh, okay.
breathology.
Something like meditation.
I'm thinking so.
Okay.
And all of these events, like I mentioned, will happen virtually.
Mhm.
So all you have to do is go to africanamericanholiday.org, africanamericanholidays.org, and then you can find a list of events that will happen during the Black Love Day.
Definitely. So the theme for this year, basically, is healing the wounds that divide, reuniting our strengths through black love. True black, like it's very very important. It's super important. So like she's mentioned, I actually want to look at love for the community because sometime last year, we actually look at putting money back into the black community so that it could be financially independent and empowered to be able to take certain decisions and stands. And that we saw that it went a long way. There were so many organizations that came up to help. That's actually what brought about setting celebrities, making a listing of black owned stores or shops or things you could patronize and purchase from. And we actually had a black bank that made like they literally they best their wallets in the first week of that whole Black Lives Matter thing because people went to invest in it, so they made a lot of money then. I think if we love our community, if we love ourselves, we'll actually put back or give back to ourselves. So wherever you find yourself, I mean, in the black community, if you're gifted with something, if you make something, if you create something, let's find a way to make sure that the returns from it profit our community as well. Because we know where we stand. We know the situation we actually find ourselves in. So we have to make sure that we're financially stable, we're financially standing. So when you give, when you work, whatever you gain, make sure you're putting also back into the black community so you empower it and see it grow. And that thing where you have to support one another when it comes to business or things, it's like someone is doing, I'm also doing. So that kind of a thing. But if you know your fellow black friend, black sister, if you know they're doing something, support them. Post it on your status. I mean, their customer could be among your friends or something. Share. Invite someone over. Tell somebody about it. Let's uplift each other because when we grow the community, We're all part of the community. And if we're strong together and we're able to be financially stable, we can move ahead in certain ways. I believe Mama will bringing us more of the events that will be taking place on what's on and what's new. But let's do well to actually look at it. So one, I'm just going to mention some of the goals of the Black Love Day for February 13th. So first off, you have a spiritual alternative to the commercialized Valentine's days, unapologetically to celebrate blackness. I almost landed on my face.
Yeah.
I, hey,
And I think and I think blackness is something that we should celebrate because since time immemorial, the black man
in
has been
in a
looked down
demeaning
upon.
way,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, where women have had to bleach their skin
You know, to feel
because
accepted.
they people have had to perm their hair, do so many things to their bodies and all of that. So if there's a and it's great that it's happening in Black History Month.
Yeah, yeah. I'm super happy, and I hope we can actually make it an attitude. Have pick it as an attitude we look towards, and people should now start taking note of all these things, so that
Yeah.
we expect them. We there's that exciting anticipation towards Black Love Day is
Let's all
coming.
buy into the celebration
Exactly.
because I mean, if we love one another, there's unity, there's strength in unity.
There is. So, one thing that Ayo Handy Candy, that's the founder, so she described this new year 2021 as a new age and the fact that we need the power of black love and we need to use the heart's high vibrational energy, which is way stronger than the low energy of fear, hate, scarcity, and separation. We need to use it to be able to overcome any reckoning hot issues that have to do with health equity, racial justice, economic equality, policing, politics, education, competition for limited resources, and basically just living while black. We need to start loving and embracing. Don't just go through life like, oh yeah, I'm a black person. I'm black, so yeah, I'm just leaving. No. Start being intentional and deliberate about being black in everything you do and in your everyday choices. So this year they hope to share hope, strengthening the black people's resilience through the Black Lives Matter. Like if you're there and you don't know Black Lives Matter, I think we should have a certain look for you. Yeah, like seriously. We should have a certain look for you. Because I mean, how can you be there and not know Black Lives Matter?
Well,
Since last I'm just saying since last year, with all the awareness and everything, and you don't know anything about it, then we should be looking at you like I think that look will help, right? Or we'll modify
yes,
it
it
properly.
will. And one of the goals for the Black Love Day celebration, in as much as it's a day to celebrate blackness and it's kind of like Vows Day, an alternative day for Vows Day
Mhm.
for the people of the African American community.
Yeah.
It's also a day for quote unquote white people
Mhm.
to put love in action for a 24-hour demonstration of service
Okay.
where they atone and they do reconciliation towards black people while inspecting their own racial attitudes,
Mhm.
fears, denials, privileges, and behaviors.
Yeah.
So it's not just the black people celebrating, it's for the quote unquote
White
white
people.
people to
Mhm.
to to look into themselves. Am I racist? What
Yeah.
are the things that I do? My fears, denials, privileges, and behaviors. Because I mean, I watched a sitcom once,
Mhm.
and this black man was trying to get on an elevator,
Mhm.
but the elevator door opens, and then there's a white baby standing in the elevator. You know what he
Baby.
does?
No.
Baby. You know what he does?
What is he?
He stands outside and then watch the elevator door close again. He does not enter because just imagine an elevator door opens, then we see a black man with a little European or American baby in the same elevator.
Oh,
I mean,
the
these
the
are
kind
people
of
that these are people that when they walk by, people
clutch
hold
their
their
purses.
belongings to
They
their
clutch their
hearts
purses. Yeah.
and all of these things.
So
So
I
it's
mean,
not just a celebration of love.
yeah.
It's a
Service.
celebration of doing introspective checking to yourself. Am I
Yeah.
racist?
Yeah.
What do I do that make black people feel the way they feel? My behaviors, my attitudes, my denials, all of that.
Yeah, I think that even that reflection on the inner self started last year, where there was, I think, during the whole Black Lives Matter thing, it got to a point where they started saying that the fact that you're actually not doing it, and the fact that you're not saying anything about it, doesn't mean you don't support it. You're not doing it. That's okay. But why are you not speaking against it?
If you think it's bad.
Yeah. So your silence, in a way, supports it and accounts the fact that you think something like this should be going on. So I think this is a good opportunity. I mean, if you have black friends, or some people don't even sit to actually think about the whole racial issue. They avoid the
And
thoughts.
they don't address it when there are conversations about racism, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And they try to justify, I'm not racist because I have black friends.
Yes. But then they're
But
not doing
saying you don't have
anything.
to help the black race.
That's the thing. That's the
So
thing.
it's not just a celebration for black people. All of us, every color, come together, look at yourself. What am I doing to help people of color?
Aren't we missing the point? Because if we keep making it about whites doing this and blacks being at the receiving end of whatever behavior you're accusing
Mm-hmm.
them of, then I just think that it just gives room for black on black crime or discrimination or stereotypes also, get a pass.
I think that's where the love for the black community also
That's what I'm
comes
saying.
in.
It's almost like I've sat back and heard you guys talk about how, as a white man, there's that. And I'm saying, look, yes, there are instances where even certain stereotypes are being perpetuated by
By
blacks
blacks, yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Black Love Day should be an opportunity to have these uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's okay to just point a finger at the white man standing and say this, but there is also the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Yes, your fellow black man, treating you in a way that you probably would expect him to do, not to treat you. So there's also that conversation. So I think largely it has to do with dismantling the stereotypes when it comes to a black man. Okay, as a black man, you are expected to have a terrible credit score. You are supposed to be living in the projects. Is the reason you are
Yeah.
seen in certain neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
already you are getting the side eye. You when there's trouble relating to the black community, already it is tagged in the media as gang related and
Yes.
all. So these are all issues that I feel that get swept under the carpet when there's that over concentration on love, cards, buying gifts, going on dates, blah blah blah. I mean, I just feel that's all the day is
Yeah.
being made to look like,
Well,
and I feel it does a lot of injustice to the day itself
yeah, but I
and what it
think
stands
I
for.
think with the whole buying of love cards and things, I think that basically is spreading mainly on the Valentine front, because I mean, with the Black Love Day, with looking at the five tenants they're looking at, it's not you don't get the whole fully romantic kind of import over here. This is looking at the situations on the ground. One thing I love specifically about this is the fact that black and white relations, like, stop the hatred. I love that part a lot, because it's forgiveness is one of the biggest
You see,
issues.
it talks about she talks about atonement, and part of the atonement, I think, even constantly in the discussions we hear of
Mm-hmm.
reparations and all. Yes, and for those that have constantly argued against reparations, I mean, they feel it's something that, I mean, why the over concentration on something that is largely symbolic
Yeah.
when they see when discussions of reparations come up, but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those, like I said, I mean, these are one of the few rare chances you would get to have these uncomfortable discussions.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not just okay for you to, when these discussions starts. I mean, you are made to post pictures of your white friends to show you are not. I mean,
No, I
it
think,
just defeats the whole
yeah,
purpose.
that's the
Yes,
thing.
so I just think it goes more than just showing romantic love. There are other kinds of love. So I just think that's where we can start from.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's where we should start from. So I think we all have to. I mean, for everybody listening out there, you also have to make it a point that on the 13th, and not just one thing I want to add, it shouldn't be limited just to the 13th of February. So from the 13th of February, you make a conscious effort to love yourself, love your creator, love your family, the black race, the black community, because these are very important. Our roots run deep, and if we don't learn to embrace them now, we'll have other people defining where we come from for us. So, Hafiz,
I'm good.
he rests his case. Oh, I wanted to ask, are you expecting any chocolate or anything this coming Thursday?
What you are doing the buying? Is that a question?
But that was not the question I asked.
I'm asking a question. I'm just being a Ghanaian.
You answer a question with another question.
Exactly.
Okay, please try not to be a Ghanaian right now.
I
Any
hear you.
expectations? Are you breaking your Mama, what did we say?
Effie, can we move
Denting
on?
your account
Can we
for,
move
for
on?
some Are you running away from
I don't like it too.
Okay, so you're also going to do the hashtag pre-Valentine breakup
I didn't say
line.
anything.
Okay, well, you're still listening to the Africa Daily Show. Thank you to my co-host for joining me. Don't forget you can go to our website www.africaglobalradio.com and always find more interesting stories here. And you can always catch us on YouTube at Africa Global Radio. If you miss any part of the show and you want to listen, you can always play back on Africa Daily on demand.